As you settle in, if you want to take a heart opener, you can feel free to do that. You can grab a block and slide it under there. I meant to mention that. And that way you can start to get that kind of back bend feeling in the lift in the heart that we aim for within this practice. And that concept that I talked about last time of lifting from the sternum and then eventually moving into the lumbar once you find your full range of motion definitely applies again today. So I encourage you to keep that in mind as we move into the various back bends within the practice. Allow your eyes to close. Start to observe the breath and the mind. Starting to let any distractions or extra thoughts melt away for this hour. Letting that focus shift to the breath. The inhales and the exhales. Hi, Kathy, welcome. So Kathy, we're just on our backs with either a yoga block under your back, if you want it there to create a heart opener or not. Legs can be bent, soles of the feet together, or extended long. Start to let the breath move into the ribs and into the belly, allowing the sides of the body to expand as well as the front. Starting to even out the length of your breath, so you can start to find kind of a one-to-one ratio of inhale to exhale, extending your breath. If you feel ready, you can start to find your ujjayi. So those deep inhales and exhales through the nose, sealing the lips and constricting the back of the throat. This might create that oceanic sound, and that's great if it does, but we don't need to force that sound. And take just about 5 more breaths, each exhale allowing you to focus a little bit more. Take one final inhale. And as you exhale, however way it feels good to remove the block underneath you, feel free to do that. So you can slide it out to the side if that feels good, whatever feels right. Now just to activate the core a little, bring your hands to the outsides of the knees, draw them into your chest. Give yourself a little hug for just a second. You can massage the fronts of the hips, whatever feels good. And then from here, we're going to work into one low boat just to feel the front of the body knit together and engage. So start to extend your legs forward, extend the arms forward, lifting your shoulders off the mat. And just hollowing out through the front of the body, activate the low abs. Make sure the legs are really active here. If you feel ready, you can find your way to a high boat. And you can use your arms to support you, just drawing the knees into the chest, activating the core right off the bat today. And then from here, just gently cross your legs, and then we'll find a tabletop. So you can either roll over the shins to come to your hands and knees, or swing the legs around to the side if that feels good. I'm working into some cows and cats here, just mobilizing the spine. So inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze high, find your cow pose. And again, thinking about lifting that sternum forward, that same concept. As you exhale, press through the palms, curl, tuck the tail. Find that cat. Imagine that your back is lifting towards the ceiling. Inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze high. Again, remembering to lift the tailbone as high as you lift the heart. And then exhale, curl, tuck the tail, finding that cat pose. Really activate the arms. One more round here. Inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze high. And exhale, press through the palms, tuck the tail. Come back to a neutral spine. We extend the right arm forward and left leg back. So finding our balance here, arm and leg off the floor. Take your inhale to feel the core engage. Then as you exhale, contract, elbow to the knee, press the floor away from you with your left arm. 2 more times like that. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. Then inhale, extend, bend your back leg, reach back with your right hand to grab the inside of that foot. Now's that chance to create your first real back bend, so you can kick into that hand and start to feel your leg lift and that shoulder open. The sternum reaches forward. You might feel a stretch in your left quad and the hip, maybe your right shoulder and bicep. Take one more round of breath here. Give it a little more kick on your exhale. Nice, everyone. Final inhale here. Exhale, gently release the arm and leg long, then let the hand and knee come back to the mat. We do that all to the other side, so reach your left fingertips forward, right leg back, finding that length from the fingers to the heel. Take an inhale. Exhale, contract. Elbow comes to the knee. Press the floor away, belly button to the spine. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, contract. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. Then inhale, extend, bend your back leg, reach back with that left arm, kick into that hand, create that same back bend, that arc and circle through the entire body. You have another full round of breath here to exhale and kick a little bit more. Nice, everyone. On your next inhale, start to release. Then exhale, hand and knee come back to the mat. From here, like last time, we'll find our puppy dog pose. So leaving the hips elevated over the knees, start to walk your hands forward on that mat, allowing your chest to release down by the floor. Either chin can come to the mat or forehead. If you're feeling really open today, you can always play with tucking those toes, maybe extending the legs and lifting the hips up. That's totally optional, and only if you're already feeling pretty mobile in your back. Wherever you are, take one more round of breath. On your next inhale, start to walk yourself back up nice and slow, coming back to your hands and knees. Then as you exhale, tuck the toes, send the hips high, down dog. First down dog of the day right here, so pedal out, whatever feels good, bending one knee then the other, shifting your weight a little bit side to side. Just observing how the backs of your legs feel, how your calves and ankles feel. And particularly the shoulders and hands as well, making sure that you start to feel even pressure through all 10 fingers. Finding a moment of stillness in this down dog, just activate the legs nice and strong. Make sure you're pressing through the floor with your hands. On an inhale, lift both heels. As you exhale, bend both knees, press your belly and ribs close to the thighs. So we're creating an expansion and opening in the fronts of the shoulders. Inhale, start to straighten the legs without changing the upper body. Now keep this expansion as you exhale, lower the heels down. We do that one more time. Inhale, lift those heels. Exhale, bend the knees, press the tailbone as high as you can as you press the torso back. Inhale, extend. And exhale, heels come down. You should be feeling a little more open in the fronts of the shoulders now. Bring your gaze forward, start to tiptoe your feet towards the front of your mat. This is our rag doll here, so you can take that hip width distance in the feet, bend the knees, let the torso hang nice and heavy, so either opposite elbows, or you can interlace the fingers behind the head. If there's another variation you'd like to take, feel free. Just take about 2 breaths of movement here, maybe swaying side to side, maybe shaking the head yes and no. Final inhale. Exhale, gently release those arms, keep the knees bent and start to roll up through the spine nice and slow. Let the head be the last thing to come up. Once you arrive, take your big shoulder roll up and back, open through the front of the body. Then step the feet together at the top of the mat, toes come to touch. Release the arms down by the sides. This is that standing mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale, reach your arms up, let your gaze follow. Then exhale, hands come to heart center. Take a moment to bow your chin and close your eyes. Set an intention for your practice, maybe dedicating it to someone or something specific you would like to focus on. Whatever that intention is, let's seal it with our breath. So deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Seal the lips, breathe in and out through the nose again. Find your Ujjayi breath. And gently blink your eyes open, moving into some back bending sun A's. So as you inhale, reach your arms high, let your gaze follow. Exhale, let your hands come to your low back, fingertips pointing up or down, whatever's most comfortable for you. Inhale, start to lift your heart to the ceiling, pull the elbows back towards each other, squeeze the glutes, and as you exhale, start to arc up and over those hands, so just the upper back moves first. Inhale, start to bring your body back to center, reach the arms up nice and high, then exhale, forward fold, hinge forward from the hips, nice long spine. Inhale, find a halfway lift, length, imagine that kind of extension through the crown of the head. Then as you exhale, plant the palms, step back into your high plank, knees up or down. Take an inhale to make sure your core and legs are nice and active, then exhale, lower all the way down to your belly, control the descent. Once you're on the belly, inhale, find a baby cobra in the chest. So feet are down on the floor at first. Keep the elbows hugging into the body. Now exhale, gently lift your right leg off the mat only. So left leg stays pressed down into the floor. Take another inhale, lift the right leg a little higher. And exhale, right leg comes down. Keep the chest lifted. Inhale, left leg reaches up. Checking that your hips are still as square as you can make them so our weight hasn't shifted to one side. One more inhale, lift a little higher. And exhale, release the left leg down and release the chest to the floor. Now today, as we inhale, we're pulling our chest through the hands to come to an upward dog. You can always move through a tabletop position instead. But in this up dog, same thing. Try not to crunch into the low back and think about lifting the heart up to the ceiling. As you exhale, send the hips high, tuck those toes, take your downward dog. Take 2 Ujjayi breaths here, nice and deep, in and out through the nose. Bring your gaze forward, step your feet to the top of the mat, toes come to touch. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky, let your gaze follow. Bring your palms together this time, and as you exhale, take a back bend. So imagine you're tracing a line with your fingers across the ceiling and towards the back wall. Imagine you still have the support of your hands, so we're arching up and over the lower back. Take one more round of breath here. Next, inhale, use the core to lift with the sternum and reach the fingertips back to the ceiling. And exhale, forward fold, hinge forward through the hips. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, plant the palms, step back into your high plank. Inhale in your plank. Exhale, lower to the belly, control the descent. Now this time, hands stay where they are as you inhale, chest and legs lift off the floor. So finding the baby cobra in your chest, both legs are active. If you want a little extra challenge, you can bring them together behind you to engage the inner thighs. See if for another round of breath, you can lift your hands off the mat, keep hugging the elbows into the body. Inhale. And exhale, release the chest and legs down. Now same thing here, as you inhale, pull the chest through to upward facing dog. Tops of the feet are on the mat, legs are so active that the kneecaps are up. As you exhale, send the hips high, tuck the toes, downward dog. Take 2 full breaths here in this down dog. Bring your gaze forward, step your feet to the top of the mat, toes come to touch. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, first chair pose of the day. Bend those legs, reach the arms up nice and high. Once you establish that chair pose, make sure the weight's towards the heels, legs are squeezing together. Bring your hands to heart center. Now switch your weight towards your right foot. See if you can hover the left leg off the mat and come to your Shiva squat. Just starting to test that standing balance a little bit. Once you establish your Shiva, inhale, draw the left knee back into your chest, and exhale, left foot meets the right. Same thing on the other side. Start to shift your weight to your left leg. Right leg starts to move into your Shiva. So right knee comes to that left calf, sitting nice and low in the left leg. Inhale, start to draw the right knee back into the chest, and exhale, right foot lands. Inhale, reach the arms up high in your chair, sit a little bit deeper. Then exhale, forward fold, release the chest down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, left foot steps back, setting up for our warrior one on our first side. Then nice and deep into that right leg, press your left pinky toe into the floor, and inhale, reach the arms up. Check that the hips are very square here, so we want to spiral everything towards the front of our mat. Take another inhale, maybe find a little back bend. As you exhale, right arm back, left arm forward, finding a twist. Allow your right hand to come to the back of your left leg and inhale, reach the left fingertips up and back. Exalt your warrior. So same supported back bend here. There's a slight spiral to it. Keep lifting your chest to the ceiling for one more inhale. As you exhale, move back through your T and cartwheel the hands down to frame your right foot. Inhale, three-legged dog. So adjust your back foot back to parallel and inhale, reach the leg up. Right leg is high. From here, you can open your hips and bend the knee. Take a moment. Make sure the right shoulder is still spiraling towards the floor. You can find some movement in your right leg if that feels good. One more breath here. On your next inhale, square off the hips, straighten your right leg, and exhale, find a little crunch knee into the chest just for a moment. So we're in that high plank position, knee is drawn in. Now keep that contraction in the core as you step your foot through between your hands, finding a low lunge. From here, inhale, shift your weight forward, lift your left leg to 90 degrees, just finding that warrior three leg, but the hands are still on the floor. Then as you exhale, gently let your left foot meet the right in a forward fold, release your chest down. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, right foot steps back, setting up for our warrior one on the opposite side. Bend nice and deep into the left leg. Inhale, reach the arms up. Same thing here, check the squareness of your hips. So think about pressing that right hip forward slightly, left hip comes back. Take another inhale, maybe find that gentle back bend. Exhale, left arm back, right arm forward, twisting towards your front leg. Left hand comes to the back of the right leg. As you inhale, reach the right fingertips high, exalt. You might even get a nice stretch in the front of that right hip. Make sure you're still bending into your left leg. One more inhale here. Exhale, move through your T to cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. Your next inhale is your three-legged dog. So readjust that right foot to parallel and reach your left leg high. Feel free to open your hips, bend your knee, take whatever movement you did on the first side. Make sure your left hand and shoulder are still pressing down equally towards the mat. One more round of breath. Next inhale, square off the hips, straighten that left leg. Exhale, find that little crunch into the chest. So it's as if you're moving through a high plank. Keep the core contracted, then step your foot through between your hands, low lunge. Inhale, shift your weight forward, find your 90-degree lift of that right leg. Make sure the left leg is really active, hips are square towards the floor. On your next exhale, gently let your right foot meet the left in a forward fold, release it all down. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, second chair pose, bend those legs, reach the arms up nice and high. This time as we exhale, hands come behind the back, interlace the fingers. Inhale, start to reach your fist down towards the floor as you lift the heart to the ceiling, finding yet another back bend. As you exhale, see if you can bend the legs a little more and lift the heart a little higher. Gently start to release the binds behind you. Inhale, reach the arms high, bringing your chest back to the middle. Then exhale, forward fold again, releasing through the legs. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, left foot steps back, setting up for our warrior one, and nice and deep into the right leg. Reach the arms up as you inhale, moving this into a little bit of a flow. As you exhale, it's right arm back, left arm forward, same twist. Inhale, right hand to the left leg, left fingertips reach up. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame your right foot. This time working into a low lunge, so let your left heel come off the mat, slide the foot back behind you, let your knee come down and untuck the toes. Inhale, reach the arms up into your Anjaneyasana. Same thing here as you exhale, right arm back, left arm forward, flow it out. Inhale, right hand to left leg, reach the left fingertips high, exalt. As you exhale, see if you can bend a little bit more, so holding this position. Final inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the inside of the right leg for our lizard. So let both hands come inside the right. The foot can toe heel outward a little bit. Staying either on your hands or coming down to your elbows. Just feel that stretch through the front of the left hip, maybe a little bit into the right hip. Keep breathing nice and deep for about 2 more rounds of breath here. Start to make your way back towards your hands if you were on your elbows. We'll find our quad stretch here. So bend your left leg. Reach your right fingertips up and back to grab onto the outside of that foot. Drop the hips down nice and low and start to pull the left heel in. You can go to whatever extent feels comfortable for you today. You have about 2 more full breaths. Each exhale is a chance to increase the stretch a little bit more. Final inhale all together. Exhale, gently release that leg, letting your right hand come back to the floor. Toe heel your left or right foot in between your 2 hands, so hands frame the foot. Tuck your left toes, engage the leg so that kneecap comes off the mat. Today, as we inhale, we'll reach the right fingertips high, coming to a dragonfly twist or a simple twist here. Now keep rooting down through the left arm. We're going to come to a side plank. So come to the outside of the left foot, right side stacks over left. You can always switch to a forearm plank if that's more comfortable. Make sure that you're engaging those left bottom obliques. Keep lifting the hips high. 1 more round of breath. Next, inhale, allow your right hand to come down into a high plank. Then exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Control the descent. Once you arrive, we're working into a half bow pose, but bending the left leg first today since we just stretched it. So bring your right arm forward, bend your left leg, reach your left arm back to grab the outside of your left foot. Keep the right side of your body down. As you inhale, start to kick into that hand just like we did at the beginning of our practice. Allow that to start to lift the thigh off the mat, heart shines forward. From here, you might elevate the right arm and leg. Take 1 more inhale, lift it all a little bit higher. And exhale, gently release. Allow everything to come to the mat. Bring the hands by the side of the rib cage. Inhale, either pull yourself through to upward dog or press through a tabletop position. And then exhale, send your hips high, downward dog. Once you arrive in your down dog, bring your gaze forward, step your feet to the top of the mat, toes come to touch underneath you. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And exhale, right foot steps back, setting up for warrior 1 on the opposite side. Then nice and deep into the left leg, and inhale, reach the arms up, moving into that flow. As you exhale, it's left arm back, right arm forward, twist towards the leg. Inhale, left hand to the leg, right fingertips reach high, exalt. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame your left foot. Right heel comes off the mat, slide the leg back and put the knee down. Untuck the toes and inhale, reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana, drop the hips down nice and low. As you exhale, it's left arm back, right arm forward, twist towards the front leg. Inhale, allow the left hand to come to the leg and exalt, right fingertips reach up and back. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame inside of the foot, inside of the left foot for a lizard. So toe heel that foot outward. Find your lizard here, so whether it's on the hands or elbows, just taking a moment to stretch out the front of your right hip this time. And again, you have 2 or 3 breaths right here. Allow the focus to shift to the hip, allowing breath to move into any of the stuck spots. 1 more full round of breath here. Start to bring your hands back to the mat if you were on your forearms. Our quad stretch is next. So bending that right leg, left arm reaches back to grab the outside of that foot. Feel free to start to draw the heel in towards you on each exhale. The hips stay dropped down nice and low. Take about 2 more rounds of breath here. Final inhale. Exhale, gently release that leg. Let the left arm come back inside of the foot first. Then toe heel the left foot in between your 2 hands so they frame the foot. Tuck the right toes, engage the leg so the kneecap comes off the mat, and inhale, reach the left fingertips high, twisting towards your left leg. Press the floor away from you with that right arm, and we come into our side plank. So right side becomes our base, left side stacks over right. Keep the obliques nice and strong, keep lifting the hips up. 2 breaths here, keep the legs very active. On your next inhale, come to your high plank as gently as you can. And as you exhale, we lower all the way down to the belly. Setting up for our half bow on the other side. Left arm extends forward, right leg bends, and the right hand reaches back to grab the outside of that right ankle. Left side stays down at first. As we inhale, kick the right foot into the right hand. Start to lift the thigh off the mat as the heart lifts forward. Imagine you're creating that big circle with the body here. Maybe you lift the left arm and leg. Keep kicking nice and strong. Right leg hugs into the midline. One more inhale here. And exhale, gently release the arms and legs down. Head comes down. Bring your hands by the sides of the rib cage. Inhale, come to your upward dog or tabletop position. Whatever feels good for you today. Then exhale, send the hips high, downward facing dog. 3 cleansing breaths in this downward dog to help hit that reset button. So take a deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. 2 more times, inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Final time, inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Seal the lips, find your Ujjayi breath again, in and out through the nose. 2 rounds of Ujjayi breath here. Remind yourself of your intention, refocus the mind. On your next inhale, reach your right leg high. Start to open the hips, bend the knee. We're flipping our dog optional. So if you want, that right leg can start to land behind you, lifting the hips up nice and high. So you're in a slightly less extreme back bend than our upward facing bow. So making sure that you're lifting the hips to the ceiling, sternum presses towards the back wall. Take 1 more round of breath here. Unflip your dog on your next inhale. Right hand comes down, right leg lifts up nice and high. And as you exhale, step through between your hands, setting up for our crescent lunge. Keep the left heel pressing forward as you inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, bring your left knee towards the floor. You can either put it all the way down or hover it for a little extra challenge. Allow your hands to come behind your back for that same supported back bend. Inhale, start to lift your heart to the ceiling. Exhale, start to arch up and over those hands. Keep engaging the inner thighs towards each other. Next inhale, start to bring the chest back to center, arms reach high, back leg straightens. And exhale, find your warrior 2, bend nice and deep into that front leg. Remember to press that right knee outward slightly. Inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach the right arm up and back. Keep bending nice and deep into your right leg. As you exhale, it's our extended side angle. Allow the right elbow to come to the knee, left arm crosses over the body and forward. Today you might again try to find that gentle back bend where you spiral the heart to the ceiling, but making it come from the chest, not from arching the back. So hips stay stable, heart spirals up. 1 more round of breath here. Next inhale, move back through your warrior 2 to straighten your right leg, pivot the toes to face the side of the room. Setting up for our prasarita, today we're going to take the hands behind us, bind the hands, so interlace the fingers. Inhale, reach the hands down as you open the heart to the ceiling. And exhale, allow your chest to fold forward. Let the crown of your head release towards the floor. Hands release towards the floor behind the crown of the head, so keeping that bind. Make sure your weight is shifted towards the toes. Legs are active. 2 more rounds of breath here. Bring your hands back towards your tailbone. Then gently release them down to the floor underneath your face. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Now bring your arms to a capital T shape. Keep the strength in your upper body. As you exhale, bend your left leg, finding a Skandasana, but keeping both feet planted. So think it's almost more of a side lunge here. The hips stay level with the heart, and we're just finding that control through our left leg. Take an inhale, move back through center, straightening both legs. Exhale, bend the right leg. Now bring the hands to heart center. See if you can start to pivot your right toes to face the front of the room to find a low lunge without touching those hands down. Nice, you guys. From here, shift that weight forward, find a Shiva squat. So right leg is still on the floor, left leg comes to tap that right calf. Now big pose, revolve dancer. We're reaching that right arm back to grab the inside of your left foot. That can be as far as you go today. If you want to go more, you start to kick that foot into the hand as you straighten the leg, reaching the left fingertips high, using that opposition to create a back bend. Take a full round of breath in whatever version you come to. Final inhale. Exhale, make your way back through your Shiva squat. That's the hardest part. Allow your hands to come down towards the floor. Inhale, step back into a high plank. Finding that length from the crown of the head to the heels. As you exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Working into our full bow today, we're going to bend both legs, reach both arms back to grab the outsides of the ankles simultaneously. Flex your feet nice and strong. Now as we inhale, keep your inner thigh connection, but they don't have to stay touching. Start to lift your thighs off the mat. Kick your feet into your hands. That chest will lift up. Sternum shines forward. The more you kick, the more those thighs might lift. See if you can shift your weight forward slightly towards the soft part of your belly. Take another round of breath. Final inhale. And exhale, gently release the legs down, release the hands. Take a moment to bring one ear to the mat. Toes can come together, heels out to the side, think pigeon toe feet. Just take a moment in this belly shavasana to regain your breath. Gently bring your chin back to the mat. Hands come by the rib cage. Same transition as we've been doing. You can inhale either to your upward dog or move through your tabletop position. Then exhale, send the hips high, downward dog. Take 3 breaths in your downward dog. They can either be cleansing or ujjayi. This is just your chance to reset. Allowing your breath to come back, your intention to come back. You have one more breath. On your next inhale, reach your left leg high. Open the hips, bend the knee. Exhale into your flipped dog. Remembering you can always keep your 3-legged dog if you want as well. Once you flip your dog, lift the hips up nice and high. Ideally, those left fingertips reach towards the front wall. One round of breath here. Bring your gaze down towards your right hand. Unflip your dog as you inhale. Left hand comes down, left leg goes up. As you exhale, step through between your hands, set up for your crescent lunge. Press that right heel forward as you inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, we bend that back knee. Allow the hands to come to the low back. Remember, the knee can hover or come down. Inhale, start to lift your heart to the ceiling. Exhale, start to work into that back bend. Weight comes out of the lumbar spine, make it come from the top. On your next inhale, start to lift your chest back up. Reach the arms high, straighten the back leg, and exhale, find your warrior 2. Gaze over those left fingertips, strength through the front and back leg equally. Inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach it up and back. Side stretch here versus the back bend, so we're aiming to find length through the left side of the body. One more inhale. Exhale, extended side angle, elbows to the knee, right arm sweeps across the body and up. Now from here, maybe you keep the legs and hips square as you open the heart to the ceiling. So no movement in the hips, just that spiral from the heart. Take one more round of breath here. Next inhale, work your way back through your warrior 2 to straighten your left leg, pivot the toes to face the side of your mat. This time, just bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, open through the heart. Exhale, fold it forward. Once you reach the bottom of your fold, you can allow your hands to come to either the outsides of your ankles or peace fingers to your big toes. So whichever option feels good. Feel the crown of the head lengthening towards the floor. You can use your arms to help pull you forward and deepen the stretch even more. Take about 3 breaths here. Gently release your bind. Bring your hands back underneath your face. And inhale, find a halfway lift. Now same transition here. Keep the long spine as you bring your arms out to a capital T shape. As you exhale, bend your right leg, finding that Skandasana with both feet planted. Let the hips stay level with the heart. As you inhale, move back through your straight legs. Exhale, bend the left leg. Bring your hands to heart center. We start to transition to our low lunge. So pivot your left foot, start to square the body off as you press the right heel forward. That chest is nice and forward and long. From here, start to make your way to your Shiva. So weight comes to the left leg, right knee taps the left calf. That leg's probably already working really hard. Now you get to find your revolve dancers. So left hand reaches back, grab the inside of that right foot. Maybe you stop there. Maybe you start to kick into that hand as you straighten the leg to reach the fingertips up. Wherever you are, you get one more breath. Final inhale. Exhale, start to bend into that right leg and left leg, bringing your hands back through heart center in your Shiva. Allow your hands to come down towards the floor. Inhale, step back into your high plank. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Control that descent. Nice work, you guys. Second round with bow pose. So bend those legs, reach the arms back. This time you might be able to go a little further since we've been doing a lot of back bending. As you inhale, start to kick your feet into your hands. Lift the chest, lift the thighs. Now see if your legs are splaying out to the sides, and if so, bring them back towards each other. Gonna make it a little more challenging. Take another round of breath. Inhale all together. And exhale, gently release it all down, opposite ear to the mat. Take a moment to breathe here. Toes can be in, heels out. 2 breaths in this belly shavasana. And gently bring your chin back to the mat. From here, hands come under the shoulders by the rib cage, same transition. Inhale, upward dog or tabletop position. And exhale, downward facing dog. 3 cleansing breaths here all together. Deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, let it go. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Final one, inhale. And exhale, let it go. From here, gently lower your knees to the mat, setting up for our full camel pose again today. So I'm gonna demo this one and show how you can start to work your hands a little lower down your legs, if that's something you want to do. But I'll show you the different steps to get into it. We're still not grabbing the heels today, so that's gonna happen on Saturday. So we'll start to lift up. Knees will be hip width distance. Now today, again, hands can be towards the lower back, but I encourage you to place your fingertips pointed down. This is gonna help your sliding of the hands later, and it saves you an extra step of having to flip the palms. So fingertips will be pointed down. You'll inhale, start to lift your heart to the ceiling, remembering that we stay strong in the belly and low back. So we wanna find the full range of motion in the upper back first. Now as you exhale, you can start to slide your hands down your legs to just hold kind of at that deep knee crease here. And they don't even need to go that far. You can stay at the hamstrings as well, but just playing with that little extra range of motion. To come back up, you'll first bring your hands back to your lower back. Inhale, lift the heart up, then chin comes up. So remember, we always lift with the heart, no extra stress on the front of the neck. So with that being said, let's give it a go. Remembering you can always stop at any point, so find a range of motion that's comfortable for you. So check that your knees are hip width distance. Tops of the feet are on the floor. Remember, it is always an option to tuck those toes as well. Bring your hands to your lower back. Ideally, fingertips are pointing down. Hug the elbows in. Now keep the glutes squeezing. Keep the core strong as you inhale, lift the heart up. This lift eventually starts to take you into a slightly deeper back bend. Imagine you're tracing a line on the wall. Start to slide your hands down the legs to a point that feels comfortable for you. So keep the support, keep the engagement of the low abs. Take one full breath here. Now start to slide your hands back to your low back first. Inhale, start to lift the heart back to the ceiling, chin comes up last. And exhale, let the hips sit back down towards the heels. Allow the hands to come into the lap, palms facing up. And allow your eyes to close. We'll get one more chance at that. So take about 3 breaths here. Resetting the mind, resetting the body, thinking about what worked, what didn't work in that first camel. And done, gently blink your eyes open. We'll make our way to our second one. And gentle reminder about the neck in this posture. The head starts to feel really heavy when we get to a certain angle. So especially once we find the full camel, it can feel good to release the head. But I want you to know that you can always just keep it as an extension of the spine as well. So if it's uncomfortable for you to release that head all the way back, you can keep it in line with the spine and nothing horrible is going to happen. So just keep that in mind if your head starts to feel really heavy. So bringing the hands back to the back, make sure your legs have been reset, hip width distance. Hug the elbows in. Inhale, start to lift the heart to the ceiling, gaze goes up. Exhale, start to work into your back bend. Eventually, you might start to slide those hands down your legs, finding the good stopping point. Keep the support of your arms. Take one more round of breath here. Inhale, start to bring your hands back to your low back. Lift your sternum. Head comes up last. And sit the hips back down. Nice work, you guys. Once you find your seat, just bringing your hands back into your lap one more time. Allow your eyes to close. And take about arms to really pull yourself forward with this. If you're relaxing, let your head be nice and heavy. Take about 2 more breaths here. Final inhale. And exhale, gently release, coming back up through the spine. Now from here is a little counter. We'll take a reverse tabletop or an upward facing plank. So if you want to do that, you can take your hands behind your back or behind your tailbone. Feet will stay planted and you can lift up with straight legs. Otherwise, you can take your tabletop position and lift up with bent legs. So 2 different options, both are equally beneficial here. So as you lift those hips up, you can let the head drop back if it feels comfortable on the neck. Wherever you are, take one more inhale. Exhale, gently start to lower the hips down, straighten the legs out in front of you. Now from here, draw the right knee into the chest and let the knee fall open to the side, working into our Parvita Janu Shirshasana to get some side bending in. Allow your left hand to come inside the leg. Let the elbow come down to the floor. Inhale, reach the right fingertips up, spiral the chest towards the side, and exhale, start to reach the right fingertips up and over. This should feel really good because we've been doing a lot of back bending and contracting into the back of the body. So we're targeting all of those muscles that get a little tight while we do that. Really use your left arm underneath you as leverage. So you can always use that left arm to actually help spiral the chest open. Imagine lifting the right side of your rib cage towards the ceiling slightly. Take about 2 more breaths. Inhale, let your right fingertips bring you all the way back up to seated. Square your chest off as you draw your knee in towards your chest and cross your right leg over the left. So we'll work into a seated twist. You can either keep your left leg long or draw that heel in towards your glutes. Right hand comes behind you as close to the tailbone as you can manage. Left arm either wraps around the leg or elbow hooks to the outside of the right knee. Take a deep inhale, find some length through your spine. Then exhale, start to twist, gazing over that right shoulder. Inhale, find some more length. Exhale, twist a little bit more. Inhale, crown with the head to the ceiling. And exhale, gently release your twist, finding your counter pose on the other side. So taking that little push up on the opposite side of the body, just bringing the chest low. Then press the chest back up again. Extend both legs out in front of you for a second. You can shake out the knees if you want. Take out any compression in the backs of those legs. Then draw your left knee into your chest, setting up for the other side. Let the foot come to the inner thigh, knee falls open. Allow the right hand to come inside of that leg and slide down to the elbow. Inhale, reach the left fingertips high, open the heart. Then exhale, start to reach it up and over. And again, we're targeting all those muscles in the left side of the lower back. You can use that right arm as leverage to help open the chest a little bit more. Keep anchoring your left hip down as you lift the left side of your rib cage to the ceiling. Take about 2 more full breaths here. On your next inhale, let your left fingertips bring you all the way back up to center. Then squaring your chest off, draw your left knee into your chest and cross the foot over the thigh. You can either bend or straighten that right leg, whatever you did on the first side. Left hand comes close to the tailbone, elbow hooks, or wrap the arm around. Take an inhale, find some length. Exhale, start to twist, gazing over the left shoulder, not cranking the neck. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little more. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, gently release. Allow both hands to come to the right side, taking that baby push up again, and just releasing the twist there. Gently press yourself back upright, and we'll work into one round of boat pose. I promise only one round today. So bending the knees, feet come flat to the floor, hands come behind you. Gently start to shift your weight to your toes, weight comes back to the tailbone, then legs come to your tabletop position. You can reach the arms forward, remembering you can always wrap your arms around the legs as well. That's going to take some pressure off the hips. From here, you might straighten the legs wherever you are. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, low boat on 1. Hover the feet, hover the shoulders. Keep reaching your fingers towards those toes for 5, 4, 3, 2, to the back on 1. Draw both knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Whatever you need to rock side to side, maybe circle the knees. We'll eventually make our way to our figure 4, so you can let both feet plant. That right ankle can come to the left knee. And today I'm going to give you the option to take it a little deeper if you want. You can slide the right thigh over the left, so imagine you're sitting cross-legged. When you lift the legs, you'll grab onto the outsides of those ankles or shins and draw the feet towards you. So that can just kind of change the stretch a little bit. So you can feel free to take that variation, or you can take your normal figure 4, threading the arm through and grabbing around the hamstring. So this is just kind of that cow face pose, shoelace leg variation here. You can play with drawing the heels away from the tailbone or pulling them in towards it, whatever feels best for you. Take about 2 more full breaths here. Final inhale. Exhale, gently unwind the legs and just extend them to the ceiling. Think legs up the wall. Taking a moment to let your legs feel very weightless here. There can be a gentle bend in the legs if you want. There might even be a little bit of natural movement in the legs. Just take about 2 breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, gently bend the knees. Let the feet come back to the floor. We'll set up for the other side. So either setting up for your figure 4, left ankle to the right knee, or you can cross the left thigh fully over the right. Wherever you are, you'll draw the knees into the chest, either thread your left arm through or grab the outsides of the ankles or shins. And then start to draw the legs in towards you, remembering to anchor the tailbone down and flexing the feet nice and strong, especially if you ever have any knee discomfort. And just targeting that left outer hip, all of the muscles involved there. And take 2 or 3 more breaths. Next, inhale, gently start to release the legs, extend them to the ceiling, taking another legs up the wall for a moment. Arms can go wherever it feels good. Remembering you want the legs to be at an angle where your hips and abs don't feel like they're engaging. So that might mean a little closer to you. It might mean a gentle bend in the knees, whatever you need. Take about 3 more breaths. And final inhale. As you exhale, draw your right knee into your chest as your left leg extends long onto the mat. Allow your right arm to extend to the side of the body in a capital T shape. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, supine twist. Right leg crosses over the body. Right hip comes up, but the right shoulder stays down. You can keep your left hand on your right knee, or you can extend it out to your T as well. And you can always lift up the heart a little, untuck the left shoulder, and then lower it back down again. If you want, you can complete the twist by bringing the gaze over to the right. Wherever you are, we have about 5 more breaths here. Gently bring your gaze back to center first, and then legs back to center second. Draw both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug, neutralize the spine, whatever you need. And then keep hold of your left leg. Extend your right leg out onto the mat, finding length through the front of the hip. Allow your left arm to extend into your capital T. Take an inhale. Exhale, left leg crosses over the body. And just matching whatever shape you made on the first side. So either extending the right arm or keeping the hand on the knee. Gaze can be to the ceiling or to the left. And maybe you lift the shoulders up, untuck the right shoulder, and then let everything lower back down again. You can close your eyes, allow the body to feel really heavy here. You have about 5 breaths. Gently start to bring your head back to center, and then legs back to center. Find a happy baby here for a few moments, so grabbing onto the feet outside or inside. Those knees draw around the ribs. Just give yourself this nice hip release, this nice low back release. You can straighten one leg then the other if you want, if that feels good, to stretch the inner thighs and hamstrings more. Wherever you are, take about 3 or 4 more full breaths in this happy baby, whatever you need. Final inhale. And exhale, draw both legs into your chest one final time. Start to give yourself a little squeeze. Lift the head off the mat, tuck the chin into the chest, arms around the legs. Squeeze in any tension, any stress into your center. Take another inhale, gather it in even tighter. And exhale, Shavasana. Let your legs extend long onto the mat. Let the arms release down by the sides, palms facing up. Allow the eyes to close. Let go of your mind. Any thoughts on your practice, any thoughts on anything else, they melt away. The breath finds its natural, comfortable rhythm. It can move in and out through the nose or mouth. Allow the eyes to release back into the sockets and the eyebrows to uncrinkle. Let the jaw unclench and the tongue to release from the roof of the mouth. And in that same way, working your way down your body, allow it to feel heavier and more relaxed. And imagine you're sinking into something soft. For the next few minutes, allow yourself to enjoy this stillness and this quiet in Shavasana. Start to deepen your breath first, allowing fresh air to move into the lungs. Maybe start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe rock the head side to side. If it feels good, you can reach your arms back behind you in a good morning stretch. Imagining you're taking a giant yawn. And draw your knees into your chest, and in whatever way feels comfortable, keeping your eyes closed, just start to make your way towards the seat. Not worrying about how your legs and body are, just wherever you want to settle for a moment. Allow your hands to come to heart center once you arrive, and allow your chin to bow. Take a moment to thank yourself for doing something good for your mind and body for an hour out of your morning. The light within me meets, greets, and honors the light within all of you. Namaste. Great work, everyone. Sorry about the video cutting out. As always, it has a mind of its own. I'll go ahead and unmute you guys.